Good afternoon. Welcome to Joy News today. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle. We're on DTT because we're free to on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. We are a home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, 5 hours of voting at Asin North, and already there are accusations and counter-accusations of vote buying. But the process so far has been smooth despite initial scuffles observed at some centers. Meanwhile, Fitch Solutions says the NDC is most likely to win the 2024 presidential elections. How so? We'll find out shortly. Plus, Muslims in the Upper East region urged to seek the help of veterinary officers in slaughtering their sacrificial cattle while marking Eid al-Adha tomorrow. More on the outbreak of anthrax, particularly in the Upper East region. Plus, small-scale miners of Tuntun Krum protest to demand the establishment of a community mining scheme. We have details for you shortly. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Joy News on TV. My personal handle is @Danana Aisha. Please stay for details. The opposition National Democratic Congress is most likely to win the 2024 presidential elections. That's according to Fitch Solutions in its analysis titled Positive Shift in Ghana's Political Risk Profile Following IMF Program Approval. According to the UK-based firm, the rapid deterioration of economic conditions in 2022 and slow progress in the fight against perceived corruption will exacerbate anti-incumbency sentiment among the electorate. In a July 2022 Afrobarometer study, 85.0% of Ghanaians believed the government was doing a poor job in tackling corruption. Joy News assisting editor Elton Brobe has been sharing details.
So the report is in two parts. The part about the likely outcome of the 2024 general elections and, of course, the impact of the IMF program on the populace and the fact that they can lead to social instability in the country. So let me start from what Fitch came to in their conclusion on how government social intervention programs may be having impact on the populace vis-a-vis the IMF program. Now, the IMF has voiced concerns over President Akufo-Addo's flagship free senior high school program introduced in 2017 to enable people of school-going age to access education for free at the senior high school level. The IMF labels it poorly targeted. Potential modification to the program in order to rein in spending could weaken the MPP's campaign agenda, increasing the chances of an NDC win. This is the conclusion of Fitch. Now, the report says that, and I'll quote here, we believe that the NDC is most likely to win. The rapid deterioration of economic conditions in 2022 and slow progress in the fight against perceived corruption are some of the things that they are of the view that can help trigger an NDC win. In July 2022, Afrobarometer study suggests that 85% of Ghanaians believed the government was doing a poor job in tackling corruption, will exacerbate anti-incumbency sentiment among the electorates. Now, the report also highlights the potential impact the IMF program, which is in its first year, will have on the economy and social instability. Now, let me quote to you what it reported in the July edition. Fitch says that it believes that the IMF assistance will improve economic conditions in Ghana and therefore might limit risks to social instability this year, 2023 and 2024. The government will likely meet the IMF targets over the coming months as opposition lawmakers will only offer modest pushback against economic reform. And they believe that the opposition NDC is best placed to win the December 2024 general elections as fiscal consolidation weakens the incumbency government's campaign's agenda. So this is the conclusion of Fitch. It says that despite our view that a government change is likely after the 2024 general election, we believe that the risk to Ghana's IMF program are limited. So Aisha, this is the conclusion of which they are of the view that the IMF program, even though it imposes some restrictions on Ghanaians, including imposition of new taxes, quarterly review of utility tariff, as well as some taxes that are likely to impact on your living conditions. They are of the view that it will not lead to social instability in the country. But the effects of the IMF program is giving advantage politically to the NDC ahead of the 2024 general elections.
Let's now head to Asin North for the by-elections, and we're hearing that the police have picked up an individual posing as a police officer at Asin Biriku. He alleged to have been sent by his boss, Kennedy, and Charles Opoku, the men who handed him over to the police, claim he is a member of the NPP. It's already 5 hours of voting at the Asin North, and already there are accusations and counter-accusations of vote buying. It is a race that will see 41,000 voters decide whether to send James Gyamfi back to Parliament or give the slot to the NPP's Charles Opoku. The NDC's Sammy Gyamfi, who led Mr. Kwesi's team to the Asin Biriku voting center, told the press the NDC is on the path of victory.
Opoku is a political prostitute. Oba ya say yama honorable Kwesi Ntranche Niema Nemra. And yes, NDC.
Where was that?
It was medical so. I can give you WhatsApp chats with our executives. That's a political prostitute. No principles, no conviction, no track record. You don't even vote here. And no person here MP. Let's leave it to the good people of Asin North to decide.
Thank you. Now. Have you regretted? And it's more regretted somebody James has got to now. Because contest is easy contest.
We could not have gotten any better option. Since this constituency was created in 2012, the parliamentary candidate from 2012 in any election is him 17,500. Ebro presidential candidate he's the most popular person from Asin North. You can see the love they have for him. And we are happy, we are excited that we have somebody like Gyamfi leading our campaign. Thank you.
Let's go there live and speak with my colleague Richard Kojo Nyako, who is monitoring events for us. Kojo, first tell us about this person who has been arrested for posing as a police officer.
So his identity is not yet clear, but we've been told that they will get back to us and then tell us who really the person is and what he did that got him arrested. And so we do not really know the person's identity, whether the person is a security officer or a resident here or someone who lives outside the constituency and has come here to support the process. We do not know as of now.
Kojo, what led to his arrest?
Well, so we all saw that the security personnel have accosted him, and then they were leading him out of the one of the polling stations. They are yet to brief a word about it, what exactly the person may have done. We do not know whether it is he was sharing money or he was impeding the process, the free flow of the process here. So we are yet to be let in on the reasons why that person was arrested. But currently things are going normally, gradually. Everything has been peaceful. The people that have passed through here have indicated their excitement. We spoke with the General Secretary of the NDC, Fifi Kwete, and he indicated that the people have comported themselves, and they are looking forward to some smooth process. We also spoke with the Central Regional Minister, who has indicated that they are very excited with how things have gone. But on the issue of money sharing, vote buying, and all of that, the accusations that are flying around from each of the political parties. So NDC accusing the MPP of vote buying, the other accusing the other of vote buying. But we saw earlier that George Achikwesin has just voted. We also saw that Charles Opoku has also visited some of the polling centers that are here. So many people have seen Gabi Asari-Ochiridakon. I've seen many people in the NDC as well as the MPP. So things are normal, and we are waiting for the outcome of the process. By hook or crook, by 5 p.m., we should get to the end of the entire process. A voter population of 41,000 plus, 99 polling stations. We wait for the outcome because people are waiting with bated breath to see who is really winning. I've got the communications director of the MPP here. Sir, good afternoon.
Yeah, hello.
So tell me your impressions, the process so far.
Well, I'm not quite happy about what is happening here. You see a systematic attempt by the opposition NDC to create tension in our strongholds, and you can see all across Breku, these 3 police stations here, you see how the NDC is creating some kind of hostile environment.
What have you seen?
Well, you are here, you see what is happening, so let me not explain.
Just tell me the specifics.
Well, you saw the rowdy encounters here earlier. You saw, I don't know if you were at Akonfede, there was a complete mess over there. Madame Gisela, the MP for, what's the name, Wutu Senya, was there. From my account, she was giving out money and she had to be forced away from the place. When I went there, I saw her sitting in front of the one.
From your account is very trite?
Well, what I'm trying to let you know is that the NDC is engaged in some intimidation tactics in where our strongholds are. But if you go to anywhere where the NDC perceives to be their stronghold, we are not creating any mess there. We're just there trying to have people go about their voting activities, and that's it. But what I see is the NDC creating mayhem in our stronghold, and I find that to be very objectionable. The police are here, most of them, when you talk to them, they don't appear very eager to address those situations. But I think that in the interest of peace, we would have to have the police sit up and do their job as they ought to do. So far, I am not satisfied with what they are doing. There are 800 of them in town, and their performance here, it leaves much to be desired.
Well, earlier, we spoke with the General Secretary of the NDC, and he indicated that they were generally excited about how the process has gone. But you are saying otherwise you are not really enthused about what is happening.
Well, you can bear witness. What you see here is that a picture of peace? Is that a picture of a democracy where people are allowed to express their views by voting? The obstruction here, screaming at people, hooting at people, just creating a hostile environment, make it difficult for people to come and vote. If you see that police station here, I think it's LA A or so, I think the last time I checked was 280 something that voted. For the past 45 or so minutes, if you watch there now, there's nobody there. That environment deters people from coming out to vote. And I see that to be the problem. And the NDC is systematically ensuring that this happens. And I want the police to sit up and ensure that this whole place, see the whole place is flooded. Who is who here? This is not supposed to be a situation. We have police officers here. If you turn around here, see the number of police people there, as if they are more than the people who are coming to vote, but yet see the chaos. So I find their performance here that leaves so much to be desired. And I think that the IGP, if is listening, the police command, if they are listening, they must sit up and direct their men to do the job fairly. What they are doing here, I am not very satisfied at all.
Finally, you are a political party. What are you going to do about the current situation? You sense an atmosphere of intimidation. What are you going to do about it?
Well, we don't have anything to do except to call on the police to ensure that there's peace and there's order so people can go about their voting activities freely and walk away after they have voted. What we see here is not exactly what should be the case.
Thank you very much. So that is the communications director of the New Patriotic Party, Richard Ahiagba, saying that the party is not really happy with the turn of events. The security has not been on top of their game. There seems to be an atmosphere of chaos in here because what is currently in your shot is not supposed to be so. People are supposed to stay out of the voting area. People are supposed to stay out of the voting center, but they feel that some people have been brought into the constituency to foment trouble in the constituency to deter people from voting. And he is recounting that there seems to be a stalemate in one of the polling stations that I'm heading there. That last time he checked, 284 people had voted, but for 45 minutes there has been no show because people feel intimidated and they feel to come out. They do not really feel well to come out to come and vote. So that is the situation here at Assin Break, where we are currently are. There are 3 polling stations, and one of them is where Mr. George Achikwesin voted. Now he's voted, he's left. The Charles Opoku. Okay, so let me speak with this. Let me speak with this gentleman. What have you to say? You seem to have something to say.
My brother, if the MPP are perceiving that this area is for them, this is their stronghold, it's a whole story, my brother. Just check the 2020 election results. You realize that Honorable Kwesin have dominated here. So what the NPP communication...
What they are saying essentially is that there seems to be a creation of...
vote or whatever. Here perceived to be their stronghold, and the NDC is trying to create chaos, intimidate the people not to come out to vote. There's nothing like that. As far as we are concerned, the voting is going on successfully. You know, we cannot go out there to go and call people to come and vote at all costs. It is their will. It is their democratic right to come out to vote willingly and exercise their democratic rights as far as this election.
General things that people are being intimidated, people are being prevented literally from coming out to vote in their number.
I have not seen such a thing, and I don't know if...
Where you are currently standing, you are standing outside where the place has been cordoned off. But he feels that this creation, what we see here, where a lot of people are, they are not supposed to be in this.
My brother, that is not correct. You see, the EC people have barricaded the place for them to have their exercise ongoing, a successful one. So we, the observers, have the right to also be around. You understand? Equally like him, the NPP communications director, then he also has to look, that's not supposed to be here because we are all in the same suit. Because the the EC people, together with the police, have barricaded their jurisdiction to work for the nation.
Okay, all right, thank you, sir. So Aisha, this is how things are shaping up as far as the Asin North by-election is concerned. People are still in the queue, they are voting, and we await the outcome of the results by close or post today. Aisha.
Donyako is our reporter at Asin North. He's been monitoring events there for us. You are sure to stay here on your election headquarters because we have all you need to know about the by-elections. Let's head to Parliament right now because there's uncertainty surrounding parliamentary sitting today as the House struggles to get the required numbers to sit. Almost all MPs on both sides of the House are in the Asin North constituency for the crucial by-election, which is currently happening. Apart from the majority chief whip and MP from Sawam Duadri, Frank Anodompre, no MP has come to the floor. The bell in Parliament has rung severally, but the House is still empty. Parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante has joined us with more. Kweku, is it likely that parliamentary business will be conducted today?
So, Aisha, the House actually sat in the last 10 minutes. MPs were on the floor. Of course, they were not even up to 15 on both sides of the aisle, and they had to be forced to adjourn sitting. On the NDC side, there were only 3 MPs. James Agauga, who was the acting leader on the minority side, Vincent Opoku Samoa, who was also supporting the leadership, as well as Mr. Kodo, the whole central MP. Those were the only 3 NDC MPs who were present on the minority side. On the majority side, you have the majority leader himself, Osei Chairman Sabosu, the majority chief whip, Frank Anodompre. We also had the Works and Housing Minister, Francis Asensoboache, the chairman of the Education Committee, Mr. Siama, and I think 2 other MPs. So in total, there were not up to 10 or 12 MPs on both sides of the House or of the aisle who were in Parliament today. That meant that the House was going to struggle to get quorum. In fact, they sat real late because the bell rang for several times, several occasions, inviting MPs to come to the floor, and no MPs was around to come, because we know that almost all the NDC MPs and almost all the NDP MPs are all in the Asin North constituency. They are forcing to try and help their respective parties to be able to win that seat. It is what could tilt the numbers in Parliament. The NPP have 137 plus an independent MP. That is not a so comfortable number for them. So if they win this, it gives them a certain comfortability in terms of the numbers. The NDC wants to still maintain their 137 and to be able to do the kind of things they want to do. So this is crucial enough, so much so that almost all the leaders on the minority front have all traveled to Asin North. So Aisha, the report is that because of the lack of numbers, Parliament has now been forced to adjourn because of the real poor attendance that occasioned today. One would have asked, would Parliament not have known that this was going to happen? In fact, since last week, MPs on both sides had been harping on this as to whether or not they were going to get enough numbers to be able to transact business. It was clear that they were going to struggle to do so today, but they did not adjourn sitting to Wednesday. They still insisted that they were going to sit today. They did sit today, but because the numbers were simply lacking, they've now had to adjourn to Thursday because tomorrow is a holiday.
Kwekwa Asante is our parliamentary correspondent bringing you updates from Parliament. The story is that the House has adjourned because there's no quorum to sit for business of the day. Let's move on to other stories. Small-scale minings of Tonto Chrome in the Amansia South District of the Ashanti region have called on government to establish a community mining scheme in the area to help end clashes with the Asanko mines. The community has accused the mining company of taking over their lands, depriving them of access to opportunities to mine. They believe the community mining scheme will support the youth to stay out of violence. There's more in the following report.
The expansion of the community mining scheme introduced by the government is expected to resolve incidents of illegal mining activities in the country. After its establishment in several mining communities, it has provided job opportunities for many. But miners in Tontokom claim the absence of the scheme in the community has led to conflicts between the youth and Asanko mine. They want the government to establish the small-scale community mining scheme in the community to avert any form of attack on the mine.
Program
We have been attacked on several occasions by military men from Asanko mines. Amansia is huge, so if one is commissioned at Achumanso, we should also get one at Tontokrum to employ over 10,000 people.
Community mining where I bet me a funny paba 10,000.
I mean, you're sure, sir, I'm going to break up a some mobile attack cruma for Bramunia or Moshe. A day na money or my woman or Muntem, and Utamaba some of Babahamo.
Bra, what you say? Yatia Maimu, not Ghana, I am mine. Now, Broni, a free South Africa. So, a baby a company.
How can someone from elsewhere establish a company for us from our own country to suffer? That won't happen.
Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, George Mrikuduka, says the government will consult stakeholders on the way forward in establishing a community mining scheme.
So when they do that, what we do is to sit with all the stakeholders and find out the possible ways of getting them the scheme launched. So consult the stakeholders the company that they are asking them to cede off part of their concession. We will contact them and talk to the chiefs and all the people involved, and we'll see how best we can jojo and bring peace.
Reporting for Joy News, Nana Boachi Dankwayadom, Kumasi.
The Upper East Regional Coordinating Council has given a slight window allowing for the slaughtering and consumption of only vaccinated animals ahead of the Eid celebrations amid a large-scale ban on public slaughtering and sales of animals. The council maintains that all these activities must be done under strict veterinary supervision. In a statement issued on Monday, the Coordinating Council has allowed the transportation of animals from neighboring countries through the region. We'll hear from the Regional Minister, Sammy Gyamfi, shortly, but first, James Savaji has been looking at this statement. He joins me with more. James, what does this window mean vis-a-vis the sustained ban?
Okay, Aisha, so we know that the initial ban actually prevents any form of slaughtering or consumption of any animal in the affected district of the Upper East region. But what this means is that because of the Eid celebrations tomorrow, those who would be sacrificing animals as part of the celebration would be permitted to slaughter these animals. The Coordinating Council has also noted that the only animals that are allowed to be slaughtered are those that have been vaccinated before or on the 20th of June, which means that all animals that have not been vaccinated or have been vaccinated after June 20 are not supposed to be slaughtered or consumed as part of the Eid celebration. So the ban on the public slaughtering and consumption is still in place, which means that when you go to the market to go and buy any form of animal, you will not get on the market. It is only those who are celebrating Eid who are allowed to slaughter and consume vaccinated animals for the period.
There's another statement from the office of the Upper East Regional Chief Imam. What does it say?
So that statement actually is in a way corroborating what the Regional Coordinating Council is saying. The statement is actually giving a 7-point guideline that all Muslims need to follow in this, and it says that, quote, all households within a community should arrange all animals expected to be sacrificed at one place and seek the help of veterinary officer to inspect them before and after the sacrifices. It continues that all animals intended to be sacrificed should be bought and kept at home for at least 3 days before the Eid al-Adha, so as to be able to detect any symptoms of an infected animal. And so that's what the Imam's office has in saying. It's also encouraged people to keep away from dead animals or animals that have shown any sign of sickness. They should stay away from all of those, and they need to observe or use PPEs, that is nose mask and gloves, in the preparation of these animals. Any animal that show any sign of sickness must be reported to the vet officers. And so, lastly, anyone who has an unhealed open wound on the hand should distance themselves from the slaughtering. All children are also expected to stay away from all of these activities. And so, essentially, that's what the Chief Imam's office have been urging all Muslims to the protocols they've been urging all Muslims to observe. And so, if you live in any of the zangos or any community that is slaughtering tomorrow or sacrificing tomorrow, you are all expected to bring all these animals together in that zango, and then a veterinary officer is supposed to inspect and certify the animals before you go ahead with the slaughtering as part of the celebration.
We can now listen to Mr. Sammy Gyamfi, who assures that the decision was taken after careful consideration of all potential health implications, as he urged residents to observe the guidelines.
You know, we have been vaccinating for a very long time now. And therefore, if you look at the gestation period of the Amtrak, as you have rightly mentioned, and you look at new occurrences, in fact, we've not had any positive occurrences of Amtrak for a very long time. I think it's even more than 2 weeks now that we have not had any new Amtrak case. So that informed us. Remember, these were people who are very, very well seasoned veterinary doctors in the region. And therefore, whatever decision we have taken, we think that it is safe. And we think that people should just abide by it, and everything will be fine.
Should these certified slaughtered animals be sold to the public?
Well, we are not supposed to be selling the meat to the public. What we are doing is control slaughtering of those who are going to be having the celebrations tomorrow. And you know what usually they do, they will usually give some of this meat to their friends and all that.
Well, back here in Accra, it is day 2, and the striking tanker drivers in Tema are still not working with the demand that their road is maintained. A delegation from the Roads Ministry is expected to hold a meeting with the union executives, but the drivers say although they are yet to begin the meeting, nothing will compel them to resume work until they see visible work being done. Sunday Alabi is the vice chairman of the National Tanker Drivers Association. He spoke earlier with Joy News.
The strike is still ongoing. As you see, there's no tanker loading at any depot. The road is still not fixed. So we are waiting for the authorities to come so that we see how best they'll help us fix the road. But until then, we are not going to work.
As we speak, yesterday they poured some latrites there right after your protest.
Yes, we came today to see that some latrites were put on the road. But it's unfortunate. So all this can be done for 7 years now. It's been done until yesterday. And from investigation, it is the TDC who brought their machine to do that portion of the road. And that's 1% of the main road. What we want them to do is only 1% of what they've done.
We can now go live to Tema and speak with our correspondent, Elvis Washington. Elvis, what's the latest with regards to the meeting, and what can you report on the strike by the tanker drivers?
All right, so thank you. Well, it's day 2 of the strike, Asin, and indeed, drivers are seated here and they are carrying through their action. Indeed, a while ago, there was some delegation from the Ministry of Roads and Highways, led by the Chief Director, Engineer Awolu, who actually came here to have a word with the drivers and also have a fair idea of what exactly the drivers are complaining about. He went together with the team to visit the road to see what exactly is happening here and also report back to his minister. I have with me the Vice Chairman of the association, who actually was in the meeting with the delegation from the Roads and Highways, to tell us what exactly transpired, because it was a closed-door meeting. Chairman, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
You guys had a meeting with the Chief Director.
Yes,
what transpired in that meeting?
Okay, what transpired was he told us that he was sent by the minister to come to the grounds and come and see exactly what is happening and the way forward. So when he came, we welcomed him and we made him understand what we are going through, the safety aspect of what is happening now. So we took him to the road and explained certain things to him to let him know, to understand. When we got certain points of the road, he saw that what we were saying or what we are saying is true. Because if a gas tanker or a petrol tanker should fall down, the community around all the depots would have a disaster. So he agreed with us that, okay, it's true. So immediately they'll work on it. We'll get back to the minister and we'll work on it and get back to us on Thursday. Then whatever they're supposed to do immediately, they'll do it for us.
But, yesterday, after your protest, you realized, or after your strike, you realized that some latrites have been put at some section of the road. Are you guys impressed? Do you think that this is a sign, positive sign of something being happened?
We've seen such things before. So for where we stand, it's not a positive action for us because what they are doing there right now is not even 0.1% of what we need from them.
So what are you going to do? You are meeting the minister on Thursday. Is that so?
Yes, please.
All right. So what are your expectations?
Our expectations are they will bring the machines and equipment on the road, and then the materials to start the work immediately so that we can go back to work. Because we want to serve the nation.
Until then,
we are not going to work.
All right. So that is the vice chairman of the Ghana tanker drivers.
Elvis Washington speaking with the Vice Chairman of the Tanker Drivers Association. Let's take a break on Joy News Today. When we return, we'll bring you business.
Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Ghana has received approval for $200 million financing from the International Development Association of the World Bank for the tree crop diversification project. The money will help diversify and grow the economy through modernizing agriculture to accelerate productivity, resilience, and industrialization. There's more in this report.
This financing will directly benefit 12,800 cocoa farmers and 39,975 cashew, coconut, and rubber farmers and their households. An additional 20,000 jobs are expected to be created in downstream value addition. According to the World Bank, nearly 40% of on-farm beneficiaries will be women. While Ghana's tree crop sector plays an enormous role in agriculture and the economy, the Bretton Woods institution said the sector can contribute more substantially to Ghana's economy and society than it currently does. These include job creation, export revenue generation, and poverty reduction. Challenges limiting the development of the sector include low and stagnant productivity, weak institutional capacity, poor sector governance, and poor climate resilience due to weak adoption of climate-smart agricultural technologies and practices. The World Bank Country Director Pierre Laporte expressed excitement about his outfit's support to Ghana's medium-term national development strategy through the Ghana Tree Crop Diversification Project.
Now, Chief Executive of BD Group, Benjamin Armstrong, is requesting strong support for local manufacturers to aid in their quest to produce quality standard products for the global market. According to him, Ghanaian manufacturers have the capacity to produce for the international market with the necessary support. He was speaking to journalists after the company introduced its HD cleaner and Bioplast disinfectant to the market. Here's more in this report.
BD Group is the first local manufacturing company to be licensed by the National Petroleum Authority to carry out cleaning services for storage tanks and other petroleum services in the downstream sector. After many years of operation, it has become necessary that government support the local manufacturer to produce more industrial cleaning materials to meet the demand of the market and to export to other countries. Speaking to journalists after unveiling its heavy-duty cleaner and Bioplast disinfectant into the market, Chief Executive of BD Group, Benjamin Armstrong, said local manufacturers need support to compete globally.
Well, the support is very necessary, but we needed since 2020 to start the process. Before you can produce products of this nature, you need approval from the Food and Drug Administration Authority. And we had to go through the process to get our approval. That is how come it took us all this time to put the product on the market. Now we have our certification from the FDA for the Bioplast disinfectant and then the Bioplast heavy-duty cleaner. So that's how come we are now putting it on the market since 2020 when we started the process. So before you got them.
Mr. Armstrong assured that producing locally will help strengthen the local currency since oil marketing companies will not require foreign exchange to bring in product and serve as an employment avenue for many youth.
Because obviously when we import, you spend a lot of money looking for the dollars to be able to import the product. So this alternative gives us the opportunity to create jobs. We have employed a number of people in Cape Coast and set up the factory in Cape Coast to produce the Bioplast disinfectant and the Bioplast heavy-duty cleaners.
Biddy Group, which operates in Cote d'Ivoire, is carrying out some assessment to take advantage of the Continental Free Trade Agreement and enter other African markets.
And that's all for this segment. Sports is up next.
Thank you for staying with us. Gary Smith here with the sport, beginning with the countdown to tonight's early semi-final spot encounter for the Black Meteors, who are coming up against the host nation, Morocco, in the Under-23 Africa Cup of Nations. Now, after beating Congo 3-2 in the opener, a win for the Meteors will advance them to the last four of the tournament. Kickoff is at 8 p.m. and ahead of that, Coach Ibrahim Tanko and Dalad Ibrahim, that's the coach and goalkeeper, respectively, have assured Ghanaians that they will deliver.
Yeah, we are looking forward to this game. Both teams have won their first match, and I'm sure that it's going to be a very good game tomorrow.
We are very prepared. As we won our first game, all of us won the first game. You know, probably it will be a nice game tomorrow, and for the players, we are very prepared, and also we are going all out for the game, and we know the outcome of the game will determine the qualification for both teams. So in camp, we are cool, no pressure. We are just coming out to give our best, and inshallah, what comes in, we give thanks to Almighty Allah.
Of course, I think after each game, you come out with your feelings, and I told the boys my feelings, and everything is good now. We have to prepare for the next game, definitely. Yeah, we have today and to get everything on course. So definitely I'm cool now, and we are ready to the game tomorrow.
The importance of CAF tournaments. So definitely with my experience and everything, I try to help my colleagues who have never been in this competition before. I try to give them the experience that I just had, or the opportunities that helped me today who I am. So for me, I'm trying to help my teammates about these CAF competitions, especially these CAF competitions, what can make you and also unmake you. So I'm really great, and I think this competition have really helped me a lot.
Kickoff, like I said, is at 8 p.m. Now, former Black Stars captain Asamoah Gyan says he's previously felt disrespected by Ghanaians and never believed that the country will celebrate him. That is, until he was eulogized on the floor of Parliament a couple of days ago. MPs took turns to honor Ghana's top scorer of all time after he announced his retirement last week. The former Sunderland striker says now his heart is finally at peace.
Well, even me answering this question, I'm being very emotional because since childhood for now, I've never seen Parliament discussing a player. You know, so I feel very, very honored and appreciative, because what they did, honestly, I didn't see till my friends sent me the video. People calling me, and I saw everything, and I would like to thank Parliament. I'd like to thank Honorable Ano for him raising this issue, this topic, and I saw him, and the way he was talking, and I felt like he's a big fan. Before I would say no, because there were a lot of disrespect, and sometimes I go on social media and a lot of disrespect, and I felt like I'm one of those guys who put Ghana on the map, you know, and the masses can also confirm. But seeing what went on in Parliament, I'm now beginning to understand. I'm now beginning to feel appreciated by Ghanaians. You know, I don't really care about what people say a lot, but Parliament has confirmed, and I'm sure the masses also know in their heart I should be celebrated. You know, I always say the numbers don't lie. I always say it. And now I would say, yeah, people really appreciate what I have done, because in our discussions, you're like, you don't appreciate something until you lose it. And I feel like maybe it's the right time for people to understand the name Asamoah Gyan, the impact of that name. And now my heart is at peace, and I really appreciate it.
Right, that's it for the sport. You can get more on myjonline.com, including the preview to Ghana versus Morocco in the under-23 AFCON.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Showbiz here on Joy News Today. In our stories this afternoon, Ghanaian gospel musician Pastor Nanaya Abuachi, also known as MOG, is now a member of the Recording Academy of the Grammy Awards. MOG Music becomes the first Ghanaian gospel artist from Ghana to be admitted into the Recording Academy following the approval of his application by the Grammy Board. Speaking on his admission into the Recording Academy membership, MOG Music said he is elated at the news, saying it is like a dream come true. Quote, this is the pinnacle every musician wishes to get to. He said, I am glad to be putting Ghana on the map once again. He further noted that his admission into the academy is motivation for him to do more as a gospel musician. The two-time VGMA Male Vocalist Performance winner earlier this year took his music career to a whole new level when he launched his latest album titled Kyono Nya Phase 2. Meanwhile, MOG has reacted to his viral surprise visit to renowned gospel musician Pastor Donnie McClurkin's church in the USA. According to him, he wanted to express his gratitude to the man of God.
So you traveled all the way to America after Dr. Donnie came here to visit. You did, a duet with your song, That I Love, and you went back to surprise him. And it was all over the place. How did you plan that? And how did you even get to achieve that? You got him.
I mean, when I wanted to bring him to Ghana, I went to his church to contact him. So basically, I thought, as an African, as I am, when somebody honors your invitation, you have to go back to say thank you. So basically, it was me going back to say thank you to him for him honoring our invitation. So I did it in a form of surprise. He didn't see me coming, I just came there to just say thank you to him. And we had an amazing service. It turned into a worship service, and it was just amazing.
And one thing that stood out for me was the fact that he called you the greatest musician coming out from Ghana. What do you make of that statement?
It's God's doing. He's been a witness to what God is using me for. So I just thank God for placing these things in me, for him to see it and confess it. So by their fruits ye shall be known. So based on what I'm bearing, that's what he's saying. And I just thank God for it. It humbles me.
We praise your name. We lay our crowns down and we worship you.
On that note, we end Showbiz here on Joy News Today. That's more Showbiz News. You, Aisha.
Good afternoon to you, beautiful Becky. That's our wrap up the bulletin this afternoon. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. Enjoy the rest of our programs.